Hello students, I welcome you all to today's session. We will be starting with geometry and the first chapter is triangles.
Now, before we start with the triangles in 10th standard chapter, you should be knowing few facts and other information related to triangles. What is a triangle? Triangle is a polygon with 3 line segments. You can see here AB, BC and AC. So, any triangle will have 3 line segments and it will have 3 vertices, that is A, B and C. In this diagram it is A, B and C. A triangle can have 6 angles, 3 angles inside the triangle and 3 angles outside the triangle. When can outside angles be formed? When you extend the sides in one cyclic order, you will be getting exterior angles outside the triangle. Since they are formed outside, they are called as exterior angles. Here you can see angle A, angle B, angle C are interior angles. Angle BAD, angle CBE, angle ACF are all exterior angles. So, triangle is basically a polygon. Polygon means it is a closed figure. So, the first polygon is triangle. Then, what is the sum of all the 3 interior angles? You studied, isn't it, in your 8th standard and 9th standard? So, sum of all the 3 interior angles of any triangle is always 180 degree. And sum of all the 3 exterior angles is always 360 degree. Dear students, may it be any polygon. The sum of exterior angles of any polygon is 360 degree only. You should be knowing all these. Only if you know the basics properly, maths is easy to understand. Those who don't know the basics properly, they keep complaining that maths is difficult to understand. Before you start learning anything, you should know some basics about that. Only then you can understand easily so that you will not feel it is difficult. Now, do you remember what is area of triangle? It is half into base into height. You should remember this formula. You will be applying this in this lesson also. Now, observe this diagram here. There are 4 triangles, isn't it? But what you can see something common in these 4 triangles? The base is common, isn't it? Observe here, AB is the base which is common for all the 4 triangles. And you can see that this line and this line, they are parallel. So these 4 triangles are lying between the same parallels and they have a common base. So you learnt a theorem based on this in 9th standard, isn't it? What is that? If triangles are between same parallels and share a common base, then their areas are equal. So, there are so many triangles here, isn't it? So many in the sense 4 triangles are there. So, their areas are going to be equal because they have a common base and they are lying between the same parallels. So, area of these 4 triangles is going to be same. So, hope it is clear with all the introduction and basic facts which are required to understand this chapter.
You can see 2 triangles here, isn't it? ABC and the other triangle is DEF. In ABC, if you take BC as the base, you can be finding the height with the corresponding vertex, that is A. So, if you draw the perpendicular line segment on BC such that it is meeting A, then you will be getting the height of triangle ABC. So, any triangle will have 3 heights. Why 3 heights? Because there are 3 line segments. So, if you consider each line segment as a base individually, it will have its height corresponding to its opposite vertex. Now, observe the another triangle here, that is DEF. Now, if I want the height from the point D, so you will be drawing the perpendicular line segment on the base EF. But in the previous triangle, we got the height inside the triangle. In this case, it is outside the triangle. So the perpendicular line segment drawn on the base which meets the vertex, that is opposite vertex, gives you the height of the triangle. So height will not always be inside the triangle, it can be outside also. So you should be knowing this. Sometimes the height of the triangle is considered from the outside point also. Now we will start with this chapter, that is in your 10th standard chapter, triangles. Before moving to that concept, first try to observe these three pictures here. There are three photographs of the same monument, isn't it? Are they in the same sizes? No, they are in different sizes. What about the shape? Is the shape same? Yes, isn't it? So we can tell them as similar. So when can you say two figures are similar? When two figures are having same shape but not necessarily the same size, then they are called as similar figures. You can observe two more diagrams here. Though they are in different sizes, the shape is same. So these are considered to be similar figures. So hope it is clear to you all what are similar figures. Now we shall come back to geometry. Now when can you say any two diagrams or any two figures are similar in geometry? When they are proportional, isn't it? Now observe these three examples here. First one is that of two line segments. Any two line segments are similar because they will have distinctly two different lengths, and if you consider them as a proportion, it is going to be L1 by L2, which is a proportion, because there is no any other line segments length here, because we are comparing only two line segments and their lengths are always proportional. So you can say any two line segments are similar. And the second example is that of circles. Can all the circles be similar? Yes, they can be similar. If you consider any two circles, they will be similar because first circle will have its own radius. Similarly, second circle will have its own radius. Like line segment, you don't have only one radius here, isn't it? You have many radius inside, which are called as radii of circle. So, how many ever times if I consider the radius of the first circle and I compare with the radius of second circle, it is going to be same. Why? Because the radii is same. For example, if the radius of the first circle is 2 cm and that of the second circle is 5 cm. So, in whichever way I consider, it is going to be 2 by 5 every time. So, what can you say from this? Any two circles are similar. Why? Because radii are proportional. It goes well with the example of squares as well. Consider any two squares. We all know what is the interior angle of any square. There are 4 interior angles and each angle is equal to 90 degrees, isn't it? So if you consider any two squares and if you take the proportional of any two sides, there is no any corresponding side usage here. You can consider one side of square 1 and any one side of square 2. Will the proportion change? For example, if the first square side is 5 cm each and the second square side is 10 cm each. So if I take in a cyclic order or in any other order also, considering one side at a time, if I take the proportion, it is going to be 5 by 10 every time. So they are proportional. So what can you say from this? Any two line segments are similar, any two circles are similar, and any two squares are also similar. Now think about other polygons. Can you tell any other polygons like this that they are always similar? Keep thinking. Now observe these two polygons here. They are quadrilaterals because they have 4 sides each. And can they be similar whichever way you draw? No, they cannot be similar because what is the condition for two polygons to be similar? Forget about polygons. What are the conditions for two figures to be similar? They should have the same shape, sides can be different, isn't it? So to get the same shape, there are two conditions. The first condition is the ratios of the lengths of their corresponding sides are equal. Here I am mentioning corresponding. Observe that. In case of square, I didn't mention corresponding because all the sides are equal there. So you need not mention about corresponding there. But if you consider as a condition for a polygon, you should be mentioning corresponding sides are equal. So this will be the first condition for two polygons to be similar. That is, the ratios of the lengths of their corresponding sides are equal. And the second condition is the corresponding angles should be equal. So if these two conditions are satisfied, whenever you compare two polygons, then they are said to be similar polygons. Observe these two here. If you consider the first side of the first quadrilateral 5 meter and the corresponding side of that in the other polygon is 10 meter. So 5 by 10 is 1 by 2. Similarly, consider the side which is 1 meter in the first quadrilateral and which is the corresponding side of that in the second quadrilateral, 2 meter side, isn't it? So again it is 1 by 2. And which is the third side? 2 meter. And what is the corresponding side of that in the second quadrilateral? 4 meter. 2 by 4. When you simplify it is going to be 1 by 2. And the fourth side of the first quadrilateral has 3 meter. And the fourth side, that is the corresponding side, is 6 meter in the second quadrilateral. 3 by 6. When it is simplified, it is going to be 1 by 2. So all the sides, the corresponding sides are proportional. And when you observe the number of strokes for the angles, they show that the corresponding angles are equal. So if there is only one stroke in the corresponding angle on both the sides, then it is equal. So you can make out that by the number of strokes given for the angle. So from this figure you can tell that these two polygons are similar because the ratios of the lengths of their corresponding sides are equal and the corresponding angles are also equal. So you can say that these two polygons are similar. Now you all know what are the conditions for any two polygons to be similar. Now we will study about triangles. When are two triangles said to be similar? Any two triangles are considered to be similar if their corresponding sides are proportional and the corresponding angles are equal. Now how can you tell that they are equal? Observe these two diagrams. First one is of triangle ABC and second one is triangle DEF. So before checking whether the conditions are satisfied, first you should be able to identify which are the corresponding angles and which are the corresponding sides. Now if you consider these two triangles together, angle A in the first triangle and the corresponding angle of that in triangle DEF is angle D. So angle A and angle D are corresponding angles. Similarly, there are two more pairs of corresponding angles. So if I consider angle B, the corresponding angle of angle B will be angle E. And if I consider angle C, the corresponding angle of that is angle F. So it is clear how to identify the corresponding angles. Now, see how to identify the corresponding sides. So if I take AB as the first side, the corresponding side of that in the other triangle is DE. So AB and DE is one pair of corresponding sides. Similarly, the other two pairs will be AC and DF. The third pair is BC and EF. Now you should check whether these sides are proportional or not. By the angles, if you look at the angles in the diagram, it is already shown that they are equal. So you need not think more about that because I am trying to explain you all when can you say two triangles are similar. So the first condition is corresponding angles should be equal. If you see that here 70 degree and 70 degree and angle B and angle E are 60 degree each, angle C and angle F are 50 degree each. So the corresponding angles are equal. Now you should check only with the corresponding sides. So first corresponding pair is AB and DE, isn't it? What is the measurement of AB? It is 2. And the measurement of DE is 4. When you simplify simplify this 2 by 4, you will be getting 1 by 2. And the next pair, AC by DF. AC is 3 and DF is 6. When you simplify, you are going to get 1 by 2. And the third corresponding sides pair is BC and EF. BC's measurement is 4 units, and EF's measurement is 8 units. When you simplify, you are getting 1 by 2. So with each pair, the corresponding side is proportional, you can tell, because it is 1 by 2 every time. Therefore, you can tell triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF because it satisfied both the conditions, where the first condition is corresponding angles are equal and the second condition is corresponding sides are proportional to each other. Dear students, you all know how to write the symbol for congruency. So now you all will be learning how to write the symbol of similarity. If you can observe here in the right side corner, triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. This is how you write the symbol for similarity. Okay, now we all know what are similar triangles. Do you remember what are congruent triangles? You all studied in 9th standard, isn't it? Congruent triangles means two triangles are exactly same. That means the corresponding angles are also equal, corresponding sides are also equal. Then we tell two triangles are congruent.
So now we all know what is congruency and what is similarity. Then you should also be knowing what are the differences between these two, isn't it? So congruency means two triangles should have same shape and same size. That means the corresponding angles should be equal as well as the corresponding sides should also be equal. Then you can tell two triangles are congruent. You studied in detail in 9th standard, isn't it? So you can say in congruency triangles or any polygons will have same shape and same size. You can observe that in the diagram here. Coming to similarity, the shape will be same but the sizes are different. You can observe that clearly here. To get the same shape, the corresponding sides should be proportional. That means AB by PQ should be equal to AC by PR. So if the corresponding sides are proportional and the corresponding angles are equal, that means angle A should be equal to angle P, angle B should be equal to angle Q, angle C should be equal to angle R. And the sides should be proportional. Only then you can say they are similar. So in a nutshell, you can tell congruency will have same shape and same size. Similarity means same shape but the sizes can be different. It can be bigger size or smaller size, but if they have the same shape, then you can say that triangles or any other polygons are similar.
So now we all know what is similarity, what are similar triangles. Now we shall learn a theorem, and the name of this theorem is basic proportionality theorem. It is also called as Thales theorem. And the statement is like this. Observe here. If a line is drawn parallel to one side of a triangle to intersect the other two sides in distinct points, the other two sides are divided in the same ratio. This is your statement. Now, don't see all the lines in the statement together. So, line by line, if you see the statement and observe the diagram, you can understand the statement easily. If a line is drawn parallel to one side of a triangle, so I am considering that one side to be BC. Now, if I draw a line parallel to BC, see which is the line that is parallel? DE, isn't it? So, DE is parallel to BC. If I draw DE parallel to BC, so that it intersects the other two sides. Which are the other two sides? AB and AC. It is intersecting them in 2 points. It is mentioned as distinct. Distinct means different. So, D is one point, E is one point. DE is intersecting AB at D and AC at E. So, these 2 points are formed because of the intersection. So, when all these are done, the other two sides are divided in the same ratio. That means, which are the other two sides? AB and AC, isn't it? So, according to the statement, AD divided by DB is equal to AE divided by EC. This is what the statement says. Now we shall see how to prove this. Hope you have understood the statement and the diagram. We'll move on to the proof now.
Now we shall move on to the proof of this theorem. Before that, do the diagram. Hope you have understood the diagram. That is, ABC is a triangle, DE is parallel to BC. Then after that, write what is given. What is given? ABC is a triangle and DE is parallel to BC. So write that in given. Then what are they asking you to prove? AD by DB is equal to AE by EC. That is, AD by DB is equal to AE by EC. Write that here. The heading will be to prove. To prove this, we require few constructions. So that will come under the heading constructions. And always remember, construction should be done using dotted line. Now here we are constructing ME perpendicular to AD. That is, ME perpendicular to AD. Then DN perpendicular to AE. DN perpendicular to AD. After that, we will join B and CD. B is here and E is here. Join this so that it is going to be line segment BE. Then join CD. CD. So now we are done with the diagram along with its construction. Now we shall move on to the proof. First part of the proof, we shall consider a pair of triangles. That is, triangle ADE and triangle BDE. Triangle ADE and triangle BDE. Now apply the area formula for these two triangles separately. What is the area of triangle? I had told you all in the beginning of the session, isn't it? Half into base into height. Now consider first triangle, that is triangle ADE. If I take triangle ADE, already height has been constructed here. So we shall take this as the height. What is the corresponding base of this height? AD, isn't it? So area of triangle ADE will be half into base into height, that is half into AD into ME. That is what is written here. Give it as equation number 1. Now apply the area formula for triangle BDE also. That is, where is BDE? BDE. This is the triangle. Now where is the height of this triangle? For this triangle BDE, for one of the vertices, height is there. So if you take E, a perpendicular line segment is already there. I had told you all sometimes height can be outside the triangle also. So now for corresponding base BD, the height is going to be ME. But ME is outside. You can observe here. So if you apply that here, it is going to be half into base into height, that is half into BD into ME. BD is the base and ME is the height. Give it as equation number 2. Hope it is clear so far. We have applied the area of triangle formula for these two triangles by finding out the base height of these two triangles. Name them as equation 1 and equation 2. Now divide equation 1 and equation 2. Please remember, whenever you are dividing two equations, divide LHS by LHS and equate that to RHS by RHS. Now what is the LHS in equation 1? Area of triangle ADE. So write that here. Then what is the LHS in equation 2? Area of triangle BDE. That is written here. That is area of triangle ADE divided by area of triangle BDE. Then RHS by RHS, that is equal to half into AD into ME divided by half into BD into ME. Now see if anything can be cancelled. Are there any possibilities? Yes. Half can be cancelled. ME can be cancelled. So that your equation is going to be area of triangle ADE divided by area of triangle BDE is equal to AD by BD. Give it as equation number 3. Now we shall apply this area of triangle for one more pair of triangles, that is triangle ADE and triangle CDE. ADE is this and CDE is this triangle. Do you remember we did one more construction and kept it ready? That is DN perpendicular to AE. So DN is the height. So if you take DN as the height, what will be the base of triangle ADE? AE, isn't it? So you can write area of triangle ADE is equal to half into AE into DN. Half into AE into DN. That is for triangle ADE. For triangle CDE, that is CDE, CE will be the base. And if you take CE as the base, the corresponding height is DN, which is outside the triangle as we did here. So it is going to be half into CE into DN. Check if there are any possibilities of cancellation. Half and half can be cancelled. DN and DN can be cancelled. So your new equation is going to be area of triangle ADE divided by area of triangle CDE is equal to AE by CE. Give it as equation number 4. So we have two equations with us, that is equation 3 and equation 4. Now, I had also told you all in the beginning of the session to remember few facts related to triangles which you studied in 9th standard. Triangles having common base, and if they are in between same parallels, their areas are going to be equal. Now observe triangles BDE, that is this triangle BDE, and observe CDE. Do they have a common base? Yes, they have. DE is the common base for these two triangles. You can observe DE is commonly there. Then are they lying between the same parallels? Yes, they are, because DE is parallel to BC. So the area of triangle BDE is going to be equal to the area of triangle CDE. That is what is written here. Area of triangle BDE is equal to area of triangle CDE. Give it as equation number 5. Dear students, now compare equation 3, that is area of ADE divided by area of BDE is equal to AD by BD. Then equation 4, that is area of triangle ADE divided by area of triangle CDE is equal to AE by CE. Then this equation, area of triangle BDE is equal to area of triangle CDE. If you compare these three equations, that is equation 3, equation 4 and equation 5, you can arrive at the conclusion that area of triangle ADE by area of triangle BDE is equal to AD by BD is equal to AE by CE. So you can write it like this, that is AD by BD is equal to AE by CE. Therefore, it is proved that sides are divided in the same ratio. AD by BD is equal to AE by CE. Observe, what are they asking you to prove? AD by DB is equal to AE by EC. That is what is proved here. Hence proved. So this is your proof of the theorem, basic proportionality theorem, which is also called as Thales theorem.
Now we know what is BPT. What is this BPT? BPT is the abbreviated form of basic proportionality theorem. We will be using like this in a short form. Now we will apply this BPT to solve these problems. First one, in the diagram ABC is a triangle, DE is parallel to BC and they are asking you to find EC. In the second diagram, ABC is a triangle, DE is parallel to BC and they are asking you to find AD. Now we shall see how to solve this. The first one, it was given in the question that DE is parallel to BC, isn't it? And they are asking you to find AC. So we know that if a line is parallel to one of the sides of the triangle, then the other two sides are divided proportionally. That is according to basic proportionality theorem. So by applying that, we can write it like this. That is, AD divided by DB is equal to AE divided by EC. Now there are four quantities according to the equation, in which three quantities values are given in the diagram. Only thing is, you should be substituting those values. AD is 1.5, DB is 3, AE is 1 and EC is the unknown value. So we are going to write it as EC. Now if you do some calculations here, that is cross multiplication, EC into 1.5 is equal to 1 into 3. Next step, 1 into 3 will be 3 and send 1.5 to the other side, that is RHS. So it is going to be 3 divided by 1.5 and the answer is 2. Therefore, EC is 2 centimeter. Coming to the second diagram, here also DE is parallel to BC. The values of BD, EC and AE are given and they are asking you to find AD's value. So here also we are applying the Thales theorem. Thales theorem is also called basic proportionality theorem. If you apply the theorem here, the equation will be like this, that is AD divided by BB is equal to AE divided by EC. Substitute the values. Here which is the unknown one? AD is unknown. So keep AD as it is and substitute the other values. So that AD is equal to 7.2 into 1.8 divided by 5.4. That will be equal to 7.2 divided by 3 because 1.8 into 3 is 5.4. Then if you shift the point in 7.2, that is going to be 72 and 1 0 will be added to the denominator. So it is going to be 72 divided by 30 and the answer is 2.4. Therefore, AD is equal to 2.4 centimeter. Dear students, now you all know how to apply this basic proportionality theorem and solve problem. Now here are a few questions for you all to find out the answers and solve the problems. Make note of these questions in your classwork and find out the answers for all these. Dear students, try to apply the BPT theorem for these 3 questions as well and find out the answers. See you all in the next session. Thank you.